Good afternoon. Once again, we're at my workstation, my work desk in the basement where I do most of my work at. And it's just a convenient place right now to shoot these from. So I'm going to go ahead and do the Powers John's Lane. I've been working on it for a week, tasting it about every night. And it's aged 12 years, Irish whiskey. I got the box in the other room. I got two boxes actually, but one's empty. I don't know what happened to it. I need to just throw it away. But it is 12 years, Powers, John Lane released, product of Ireland. And as a 12-year-old, it's pretty good. Let's go ahead and pour it. I'm thinking about it. Real cork. Smells good. It's one of my favorite with Irish whiskeys. I'll have to start doing more Irish whiskeys. I'll have to do a Redbreast next. It is triple distilled, traditional pot stilled whiskeys characterized by their full honey and spice taste. And I do get the honey. I agree with that one 100%. There is some spiciness, but it's not all you think it is. Powers Lane is a single pot still whiskey that provides a glimpse of how pot still whiskey from the original John Lane distillery would have tasted. The distillate has been matured mainly in American oak casks with a small inclusion of Iberian oak for balance and complexity, and married to create a distinctive honey spice flavor of Powers. Iberian oak means it's from Spain. It's the Iberian Peninsula. Single pot still whiskey is still more blurbed on there. It is a Middleton distillery product now, so it's no longer made by the John Lane distiller anymore. It's imported by Pernod Ricard in New York, and it comes in at a respectable 46% ABV, which is a lot better than 40. I mean, 40 is when you're just happy to make the minimum, and a lot of times that's the appearance of 40. Let's just make the minimum, put it out there. If it don't taste as good as it maybe it would at 42, 45, 46%, we'll make more money at 40. And sometimes 40% is fine, but most of the time you're looking for a more flavorful product, and you will get it with a little more percentage points. Most times. There are a few whiskeys at 40% are all right. There's not a lot, but there are a few. So anyway, enough about the bottle, about the blurb. Let's get into the whiskey itself. And yes, you get the honey. You get that vanilla from them oak barrels. Think about a vanilla cream, hard candy. I do get a touch of butterscotch in the background as well. It comes off as a more sweeter whiskey, and as often pot still Irish whiskeys do. And there is a subtle spiciness in there. I'm not going to say Christmas spices. It's not that kind. Maybe the allspice, cardamom, along those lines. Just a touch of the tannicness of the wood from the cask. And it's the smell you get when the trees drop their leaves and you're out fishing in the fall, or even just down along the riverside, whatever you're doing in the fall, or the creek side, and you'll smell those leaves sitting on the water. Just ever so bit of that tannic note that comes off the water. Cheers. Such a pleasant one. So much easier drinking than the Bushmills, for instance. So much better at palate coating. Softer whiskey. It's not a harsh whiskey. I'm still sticking with the allspice, cardamom, and spiciness coming up. But you still get that honey richness in it. But the vanillas are very strong in this. Very, very strong. That's not a long aftertaste. The finish is medium. But it's very light. It cleans up very easily. No bad aftertaste, no nothing. Invite you for another sip. Next time, just a drop. You still get a subtle wood tannicness to it, but it's not a bad thing. Not bad at all. And it kind of blends with the spiciness. But after all that's kind of goes through your palate, you end up with that nice honey vanilla notes. Now, you hear the dogs. They're acting up. A very well-made whiskey. This, I will have to say, is one of their better whiskeys. I really enjoy this whiskey. It's been good to me. Score-wise, for an Irish whiskey, because I'm comparing it to Irish whiskeys here, it's in a little different category than Scotches or other things. As far as Irish whiskeys goes, I'm gonna give it a 90. A solid 90. It's one of the better ones to my palate. I love the coating. It's still there, but there's not much flavor, just the vanilla. And it just sort of kind of, the finish is done, but there's little hints that come back around. Just subtle hints. It's not like a strong finish that's going to just ease into it for a long time. Again, it's an awesome whiskey. A 90. Can't say much more about it. Remember, spirit in your glass ain't running from you. Take your time, sip and enjoy it. You'll be better for it, as will we all. Everyone have a good evening. That is a fine whiskey.